All right, I'd like to welcome you to this edition of EMU Today TV. My name is Mark Slee. I'm your host. And as we do each and every single month, we want you to sit back and relax and enjoy the conversation as we talk about the latest happenings in and around the great campus of Eastern Michigan University. And this month is no exception. We're going to talk to Mr. Charles Teague, and he is the department head for Accounting, Finance, and Information Systems and Assistant Professor of Finance here at EMU. Charles, thanks for joining me. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you for having me.
Good, good. And we're going to talk about a new Bachelor of Business Administration, new BBA program, if you will. I'm going to turn it over to you to have you share with the viewers this month about what this new program is.
It's going to be in financial planning and wealth management. So we're really excited in the department. We're going to have a second track available for EMU students to help prepare them for careers as financial planners, wealth managers, and estate planners. This new program is going to basically teach them the qualitative side of finance,
Mhm.
how to become financially literate and to share that with their clients or with different companies they work with in the future. But it's going to help them prepare for careers really as financial planners. Our program is built around the Certified Financial Planner program. So the CFP board is going to recognize us as a program that will allow students to sit for the CFP exam upon completion. So we're really excited about this. I'm eager to talk to you more about it.
Yeah. And what makes this program relevant and timely in today's economic landscape? And we know there's a lot of things that are going on economically. So what makes this program, from EMU's perspective, relevant and timely with everything that's going on?
Well, one of the main reasons is the demographic shifts in the country. So roughly 10,000 people are retiring. They're turning 65 every day in the United States. And by 2033, approximately 25% of our population is going to be retired. And the problem is most of these people are not prepared. So a recent survey has found that 60% of those surveyed, she said that they weren't prepared to retire. So this program is going to help students work with those individuals to build financial plans. So it's really popular. As far as the demand for the program, the BLS suggests that there's about a 13% growth rate over the next 10
Mhm.
years, or average growth rate over the 10 years versus only a 4% for all other occupations. The median starting salary first, or the median salary in this field for students is around $95,000. Now that doesn't mean they're going to start at 95, but that's a
Sure.
solid salary for a BBA program. So there's a tremendous amount of demand, tremendous job growth, and really the shifting demographics are going to help with this program getting out and getting started in our community.
You know what I like about that, Charles, too, is a lot of times the college students don't necessarily think about financial planning. And even after they graduate to get their first job, I remember years ago, when I came out of Eastern Michigan, the farthest thing from my mind was financial planning. And of course, as I got further into my career, I started thinking about it. Family came along, things like that, kids came along. What I like about this is that you're beginning to challenge the students to begin to think about financial planning early in their career, defined as the educational studies, if you will.
Yeah. It's really not only will they gain a degree that will help them get a job, but it's going to prepare them for their whole financial life. Really,
Yeah.
it gives you that literacy to do well. I mean, to whether you're planning for your college, excuse me, your children's college education, you're planning for your retirement, you're trying to plan for estate plan when you want to transfer wealth to your children down the
Sure.
road. Whatever that is, this program will help you understand all aspects of your financial life.
And what sets this program from other finance-related majors and opportunities that we have at EMU? So what sets it apart from the more traditional finance-related programs in the curriculum?
Well, most students, when they take a finance program in college, they're really taking a corporate or an investment track program. That's what we all think of when we think finance. We tend to think Wall Street, and really, this program is about personal finance. So it's totally
Mhm.
different. It's not. A lot of students really worry about the mathematical requirements for finance, and this one is more about relationship building. It's having a toolkit, a financial toolkit, but learning how to use that to help people change their lives. So it's really going to be a great program. We're still going to have the finance track, the traditional corporate track, but we're going to have this second opportunity for a lot of students to be able to advance in a career that is related to finance.
And a lot of times, Charles, we know we think about career opportunities. I know a lot of people watching today. This program goes for our alumni, our students, everybody engaged with the EMU community at large. And talk to those students who are tuning in right now in the alumni and talk about the career opportunities. A lot of times, again, as we graduated way back in the day, you might have gotten a job as a financial analyst, which is great. No problem about that. But talk about the opportunities in this space for those who are interested in career financial planning, things like that. What are the opportunities for them?
Yeah, I mean, there's a wide amount of jobs as financial planners. So most of the students at our school will end up getting financial internships, which are really geared to financial planning. We have tremendous amounts of firms that deal with wealth planning. The local banks have these positions, insurance companies. There's just a numerous job opportunities for our students. We just placed one student from our finance BBA normal track. We placed him
Hmm.
with a financial planning firm in Chicago. So there's tremendous opportunities for students to work in this area, to have internships, and it's nationwide. Like I said, the projected job growth is 13% versus 4. 55,000 new jobs coming available every year in financial planning in the United States. So it's really one of the most high in demand careers. And I'll share with you a recent U.S. News
Sure.
report listed financial planner as the second best business job that you can get and 13th out of the top 100 jobs. So, I mean, it's right up there at the very top. And as far as compensation, workload, stress levels, it is a great career path for most. It would really fit most of our student population.
And I heard you say earlier the $95,000 potentially as a salary, maybe not necessarily fresh out of school, but certainly a target number that a lot of these students will certainly have the opportunity to reach. And let's talk about here we are in Metro Detroit and Southeastern Michigan. There's been a lot of discussion about the brain drain in terms of our young people going elsewhere. So talk about the importance of this to Metro Detroit, pull the lens back to Southeastern Michigan. I heard you reference Chicago earlier, but
Mhm.
yet the number of job opportunities here. So talk about the importance to Southeastern Michigan as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's really our mission. The whole College of Business mission is to educate future business leaders for Southeast Michigan. And this really is what we're trying to do. Our local community has tremendous need everywhere. This is not something, and maybe I gave the wrong impression, Chicago as a finance center, but this is not really a position that's going to be limited to somewhere like that. This is for, Main Street USA. So Detroit, Ypsilanti, Ann Arbor, Plymouth,
Mhm.
these surrounding towns they have individuals who need help financially with their financial plans or financial literacy, their financial life. So this really is going to help out. We have a center here on campus that we coordinated with Washtenaw County that has credit counseling. And so we're hoping to place some of our students there to show them that this is not only to help those who have tremendous amounts of assets manage that, this is to help individuals, become banked or to learn how to budget, to improve their credit. If they're suffering or going through a bankruptcy, to help them turn that around. People that are going through divorces. There's just so many opportunities for our students to help individuals in the local community with this kind of program.
Yeah, and talk about it in the context of the mission and values for Eastern Michigan. How does this tie directly to our overall values as a university?
Yeah, I mean, our main strategic goals for the university is to provide high performing academic programs. This will be one of those to enhance student success. And so we really, especially in this academic environment where students worry about going to college, getting the right degree to get a job.
Mhm.
I mean, job placement will be great for this. Like I said, the demand is really there. We're also the only school in Southeast Michigan that's going to have a BBA program in financial planning. So we're really serving an untapped market here for our students. And it should, like I said before, our mission is when we're a regional university, our mission is to educate and build future business leaders for Southeast Michigan and beyond, but primarily for Southeast Michigan. And this will help us fulfill that mission.
And you talked about what we didn't talk about, but the importance, the way you referenced it, of being inclusive, I should say, being inclusive. And let's talk about it in the context of that space in terms of job opportunities and inclusive opportunities for our students and other people tuning in for this particular degree that will be launched in February 25.
Well, I think that's a really important topic. It's a good question. And we try to develop this program around that idea of diversity and inclusivity, where I require our students to go outside of the College of Business and take courses in business ethics and also in social welfare and justice,
Mm.
so they'll not only understand how to deal with high net worth clients, but how to help individuals who really need help. And our student population is diverse, so we're hoping to educate a very diverse group of students to take these roles as financial planners and help our local community. I think a lot of individuals may struggle when they think of this idea of a financial planner and having to go see one. But here they're going to have people from the community that have gone to school at Eastern and can give back, and that's what our goal is.
And with about a minute remaining or so, and I want to just turn over to you to talk about the launch of the program 2025, exactly how do people find out more information, how do they register for this particular degree. I'll turn over to you for the last 30 seconds to talk about that.
Yeah, well, thank you. So on our website, we've got a new page specifically devoted to the financial planning and wealth management program. The classes are already in for the summer. Students can take wealth management investments for the summer. That'll help go towards the degree. And then in the fall, we're going to have 4 classes offered. So those will be available to register. Students can go ahead and apply directly to the program. It starts in September. We're very excited.
So can they go to, is there a website that students can go to or people can go to in general to get more information about
Yeah,
it?
yeah. If you go to the College of Business website and look under degrees and programs, you'll go down and see financial planning and wealth management, the new BBA program, and then just click on the website and it'll pull up the information. And if they want more information, they can click the contact details, put their name in, it'll come to me and I'll forward it to our faculty and we'll get back to those students immediately.
Charles Teague, I want to thank you very much. This is an awesome program. And I love the fact that we're exposing young people to financial planning early in their careers to find us starting at the collegiate level. Outstanding program. Congratulations. We wish you much continued success as you launch this program later this year. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
My pleasure. We want you to sit back and relax and enjoy this brief video about a recent multicultural graduation at EMU. And when we come back on the other side, we have a very important topic we will continue on this month's version of EMU Today TV. We'll be right back.
Graduates, it is an honor to be here with you tonight to celebrate your success. The purpose of the Multicultural Graduation Celebration is to acknowledge the achievements of graduating students of color, both domestic and international, here at EMU. This event also celebrates the rich and diverse culture of our student body.
Inspiration is the mother of creativity. It sparks our flame, it takes us to higher heights, and acts as a catalyst for change.
Our success is not just ours alone. It's a foundation for future generations to dream bigger and achieve even more. As we celebrate tonight, let us honor not just our accomplishments, but the stories behind them.
But whatever you do, you have to keep moving. I wish you all the best in your future endeavors and push you to keep moving forward. Adelante and congratulations, class of 2024.
All right, welcome back to EMU Today TV. I hope you enjoyed that celebration, the multicultural graduation here at EMU recently. We need to sit back and enjoy the conversation as we segue into another conversation, important conversation here at EMU. I'm so pleased to welcome Dr. Ron Flowers, and he's the chair of the university's mental health task force. He's a professor, interim department head, leadership and counseling for the EMU College of Education. Very thoughtful conversation is going to take place here as it relates to mental health and providing mental health support for students and beyond. And there is a task force. I'm going to have Dr. Flowers talk about that task force. Dr. Flowers, let me turn it over to you. Welcome to EMU Today TV. And I'm going to turn it over to you to talk about this task force.
So a year ago, the faculty senate, the provost, the president of the university, looking at the data and the numbers relative to students experiencing increases in stress, depression, mental health and wellness in general. We're struggling, and we know that nationally. And we began to ask questions about what kind of things could we do to help students and to support students. We know now that Lumina and the Gallup have been surveying college students for about 25 years. And the last couple of polls they've come out with has indicated that the number one reason students leave college is because of mental health issues. And so it helps students graduate. It improves our retention rate. It helps them succeed in the classroom. And so we've sort of taken an all-encompassing approach with the idea of building a community that cares, or building a caring community, so that we can help students in all facets of supporting them in success.
And this is very personal to you as well.
Yeah, so we lost my son, and he struggled with mental health issues and substance use issues, which began to emerge as he was in college. After he graduated from college, they continued. And then, as I said, in the fall of 2002, we lost Dan to mental health and the illness that he suffered from. So out of that, and I had always been involved. I'm a student affairs professional, so I've always worked in student affairs. I'd been having conversations with our campus life folks and our wellness office and CAPS, and know many of those people well, about what we could do to help support students, because I knew it was an ongoing concern and issue. And so this sort of pointed me in the direction, this sort of gave me a real quick shove. And so it is personal. If I can help one parent, one family, one student avoid that outcome, then what we're doing is well worthwhile. And as we've been putting posters up around campus that say "We care" as part of our branding and campaign, I actually had a student come up and put her hand on my shoulder as I was putting it up on the wall, and she just said straight out to me, "You're going to save somebody's life." And so obviously that was very emotional for me.
Sure.
But that's the goal. And just everybody on our campus, and the chief of police, Chief Lidge, and I had a lengthy conversation about some of the things that the police officers are actually doing on campus to assist us. And he virtually said the same thing. This will save people's lives. This will save our students. But more importantly, in addition to that, it will help our students thrive and become productive and be productive young adults.
And let's talk about the challenges of college. We know college life, dating back to you and I were in school, has always been stressful. There are challenges. You're balancing classes, you're balancing work, some situations you're balancing your families as well. So talk about some of the, I guess, the trigger points, some of the things that, professors, instructors, faculty members, hey, just people in general, what are some of the things that people should look for in terms of some of the challenges that these young people might be going through?
Well, first of all, I mean, I think one of the things that I want to emphasize is that what we really want to focus on is helping students thrive. And so before they reach a crisis phase, can we help give them the tools to manage all the demands that a student has, finances, and classes and academics and family and extended families, and all of those things can create a great deal of stress. And if we can help students develop the tools to manage those so that they continue to thrive, then hopefully we can keep students from what we call the other end of the mental health continuum, and that's where they're in crisis, and that then they actually need support from a therapist and a clinician. But one of the things that I think oftentimes that faculty can clue in on is that students who had not done so before start showing up late to class, miss class, begin to have lots of assignments that are undue. There's some other things going on in their life. And it oftentimes is more than just they're not being responsible. And you find out that, yes, I'm caring for an ailing grandmother, or I have to work and I don't have a very friendly boss who's giving me time off to get the things done. So all these things can combine. And then, unlike when we were in school, they're in a 24/7 world. The internet and social media and the connection to their phones. It's a very different world than when you and I went to school. In fact, I actually encourage students to try 30 minutes a day with your phone in a drawer someplace.
Yes.
And if you can't do it for 30 minutes, then try it for 10 minutes and then try it for 15 minutes. But that can be very toxic and can be a very toxic portion of their life as they're taking in what's happening around in the world around them and those stresses. And then how do I manage my own personal life and all of those sort of things. So one of the things that we're looking to do is to really focus on that wellness or thriving space to where we can help provide supports for students to learn to manage those sort of things and to help our faculty do little things in their classroom, mindfulness activities that take maybe 2 to 3 minutes out of a class session to help students refocus and do those sorts of things to again keep them in that space that they're thriving, or how can I manage stress, or how do I think about stress in my life, and what kind of things can I do to help work through that. So those are some of the things that we're really trying to focus on. But again, just students' behaviors and habits, and they just change, and you begin to see they look disheveled. They're showing up late for class. They're not as well groomed. They don't talk. They're not as talkative as. So those are some things. And I think the big concern that faculty have is then how do I approach a student like that?
That's my next question. It's exactly my next question.
Them?
Yes.
And it really is often just as simple as, how are you doing? And would you like to talk to somebody? As a student walks out of class, or when you see them in the hallways, that you just say, how are you doing? And yes, we're all inclined to say, I'm okay. How you doing? I'm good. And it's like, but if you ever want to talk, and those are powerful things. It may not have an immediate impact, but for a faculty member, students, and we did when we were in school, who look up to faculty to say, hey, stop in and visit with me. And I know some faculty actually have mandatory that you've got to stop by and see them a couple times a semester. But again, that opportunity to talk, that opportunity to find out about your students, and then you would be surprised at just making that offer that I'm here if you need somebody to talk to. And if I'm not the right person for you to talk to, I know a lot of other people that would be willing to chat with you and work with you and help you work through things.
This is a very powerful and humbling conversation. It really is. I'm in the classroom, you're in the classroom, and I love what you're saying, helping students to thrive. I want you to look into the camera now, if you don't mind, and please talk to faculty, the ones who are in the classroom every day, and how many times a week, a semester, and give them some advice and counsel. I love what you just said about the phones, for example, but talk to them in terms of, know that we're instructors, we know we're working with students daily, but talk to them on a more humanistic side in the context of this conversation. What can they do?
Well, again, be as honest and open about your own experiences in college and the struggles you may have had that you feel comfortable doing. Make yourself available to chat with students, get to know them, have them tell you things about their lives that they feel comfortable in talking to you about in an open session in a classroom. All of that humanizes you as a faculty member, and it also allows students to understand that you're more than just a math professor or a physics professor, that you also have a life and you struggle with things from time to time to the extent that you feel comfortable. But I think anytime you develop a rapport with students, and one of the things that I share with faculty often is that there'll be a return on investment. An ROI will be there. They'll do better in class. They'll perform better in school. You'll have a better classroom of students if you spend a little bit of time helping to support students. And we refer to it as just do one little thing. If it's nothing more than, and I can't recall the professor's name off the top of my head, that requires, and there are probably others that do, for students to come in and see them during office hours a couple times a semester, and they give them a couple of points in their class, but they require them to come in and say hi and talk and get to know them, so that you break down those barriers and students feel like they have people that care about them and genuinely want to help them. I think that's an important thing for students to begin to see.
And conversely, we have about a minute remaining. Let's talk to the students. They sometimes see faculty almost as if faculty, and I'm afraid to share or talk to faculty because it's faculty or a professor. Talk to the students wholeheartedly. I want to extend the time for you for this conversation. It's very important. I'm going to give you more than a minute. And I'm going to take this program a little bit longer and talk to the young people in terms of what can they do, give them encouragement to make sure that they get beyond those challenges in their lives as it relates to the faculty and other members of the class.
Well, I think oftentimes students feel like, especially when you're young, and it's like, I'm the only one that's experiencing what I'm experiencing. And some of the things may be unique to you, but there's an awful lot of folks that share that. And I'm encouraged by this generation. They will talk about mental health. They will talk about wellness. And I encourage them to talk amongst themselves, talk to people they feel comfortable with. And the other thing I can say, and I tell this to students, and I just met with student government, and it's like, I'm impressed that the faculty at this institution, the vast majority of them, are very committed to students. They really do care. They choose to be at Eastern because of that commitment to the student experience and being in the classroom and being with students. So that I think that's important for students to understand. But I also think it's important for the faculty to communicate that they do care in their own way, and that students are welcome. But I would encourage students to get to know your faculty. Again, if you're working with a professor in your academic area, I know I did it as a student, wanted to get to know them, wanted to understand how I succeed in a career. Those are all worthwhile things, and I encourage them to reach out to their faculty about those types of things in terms of, how do I become a professional? How do I make a transition into the work world? How do I manage my life and balance my life now as a student and as a young adult? And it's the students in student government we're all talking about, they wish somebody had explained to them what it was like to sort of manage an apartment, or how do you go grocery shopping and budget for that? All those types of life experiences that we as faculty could clearly have a conversation about.
Well, I tell you what, as we quickly wrap up, I just want to quickly ask you, is there a phone number that people can call, give support, or a website?
So I would encourage them to email at we_care@emich.edu if they have questions, comments, concerns, ideas. That's sort of our main spot. The other thing I can say is that we are actually in the process of creating a central wellness mental health website that will be one click off of the Eastern's homepage that will consist of support, educational materials. I'm concerned about a friend, how do I approach them? And for faculty, I'm concerned about a student. What are the signs? All those things in terms of educational tools that we can help both faculty and students and staff, for that matter. They're oftentimes the front-facing piece of the university and interact with students in lots of different ways, and they're interested in understanding how they can support and help students.
Dr. Ron Flowers, I want to thank you very much for this powerful conversation, and thank you for your support, and thank you for all the work that you're doing for Eastern Michigan University.
So, more than pleased and happy to do that.
All of you tuning in to this edition of EMU Today TV, thank you. Go out, make it a great day, make it a great week, and we will check you out next time on EMU Today TV.